relationships change over time. Someone who was once passionate and full of love might start to feel distant, almost like a stranger. But why? How does that early excitement slowly turn into silence? Most couples don't even realize it's happening. It's not sudden. It's a slow drift caused by years of unspoken words, unmet needs, and small disappointments that pile up. But here's the thing. This doesn't always mean love is gone. Sometimes it just means we've forgotten what love is supposed to feel like. So why do women start seeing their partners differently as they get older? What's really behind this shift? And most importantly, how can you bring back the connection before it's too late? If you've ever felt like something in your relationship has changed, or like your partner just isn't the same person anymore, stick around. This might just change the way you see love and marriage. 1. The emotional burden gets heavier over time. In most marriages, women naturally take on the role of the emotional caretaker. They remember birthdays, keep the family connected, plan events, and handle all the little details that make life run smoothly. At first, it feels normal, something they do out of love. But over time, it stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like a responsibility. The real issue: most men don't even realize this is happening. They assume everything just works out without thinking about who's making it happen. At some point, women start to feel like they're carrying the entire weight of the relationship alone. They handle the emotional labor, the mental to-do lists, the planning, the organizing, while their partner just exists in the marriage. And the truth is, being in a relationship but feeling completely alone, that's way more exhausting than physical loneliness. A woman who constantly supports her husband, emotionally, mentally, and physically, expects to feel that same support when she needs it. But if she doesn't, the disappointment builds, and one day, without even realizing it, she starts to withdraw. Not because she doesn't love him anymore, but because she's tired of feeling like she's in this marriage alone. Love isn't just about being present. It's about being seen, valued, and appreciated. 2. Real connection gives way to silence. In the beginning, conversations feel effortless. How was your day? What are you thinking about? Tell me your dreams. There's curiosity, excitement, a genuine desire to know each other on a deeper level. But as time passes, something shifts. Those long, meaningful talks turn into quick, routine exchanges. And then, one day, they just stop. For a woman, communication isn't just about talking, it's about feeling connected. It's how she knows she's valued, how she feels emotionally close to her partner. But when the conversations start fading, so does that connection. Picture this. She sits down next to him, ready to share something important. But instead of engaging, he barely looks up from his phone, gives a short response, or just nods absent-mindedly. He's physically there, but emotionally, miles away. At first, she tries harder, starts conversations, asks questions, makes an effort. But if she keeps getting the same distant reaction, she eventually stops trying. Not because she doesn't care anymore, but because she's tired of feeling unheard. Those little moments of silence. They don't seem like a big deal at first, but over time they build up. And before either of them realizes it, the emotional gap between them has grown so wide, it feels impossible to cross. 3. Never-ending housework. At first, small chores don't seem like a big deal, but over the years, they pile up and turn into a real problem. Studies show that even after retirement, women still handle most of the housework, cooking, cleaning, tidying up, over and over again. And as time passes, frustration starts to build. It's not just about the chores themselves, but about feeling like the responsibility is never shared equally. One day, she catches herself thinking, "Why do I have to do everything?" And once that thought settles in, it's hard to ignore. 4. While the woman changes, the man stays in place. As the years go by, many women feel a desire to grow, learning new things, traveling, experiencing more of life. But if their partner stays in the same place, refusing to evolve, a gap begins to form. Slowly but surely, she starts to drift away. Emotional distance grows, and the bond between them weakens. A relationship thrives when both partners move forward together, sharing experiences and evolving side by side. But when their paths start to diverge, feelings inevitably change. 5. Physical and emotional intimacy disappears. Intimacy isn't just about physical touch or spending time together. It's about feeling seen, valued, and desired. Women don't just want to be around their partner, they want to feel special in their eyes. But over time, when that feeling fades, the relationship starts to shift. If a woman senses that her partner no longer looks at her the way he once did, that she's no longer someone he admires or desires, emotional distance begins to grow. Love isn't just about existing together. It's about making each other feel wanted every single day. 6. Retirement changes everything, but not always for the better. For most couples, retirement sounds like a dream. More time together, less stress, and the freedom to create new memories. But in reality, this new chapter can bring unexpected tension. Suddenly, they're together all the time, and for many men, adjusting to this shift isn't easy. Without a clear sense of purpose, they often rely on their wives to fill their days, expecting them to plan, entertain, and organize everything just like they always have. But for women, this isn't the peaceful, carefree phase they imagined. Instead of enjoying their own freedom, they find themselves carrying yet another responsibility, keeping their husband engaged and happy. If couples don't have their own hobbies, friendships, or personal space, marriage can start to feel suffocating. And when that happens, love doesn't just fade, it slowly drains away. 7. No longer feeling heard or appreciated. The biggest heartbreak in a marriage doesn't come from explosive fights. It comes from feeling invisible. After years of being the emotional backbone of her family, a woman starts to notice that her words don't seem to matter anymore. She shares her thoughts, her worries, her feelings, but they're met with indifference or half-hearted responses. And slowly, she stops trying. It's not grand romantic gestures she needs. It's the simple, everyday reassurance that she's heard, understood, and valued. But when that's missing for long enough, something inside her shifts. She withdraws, not out of anger, but out of exhaustion. And when she stops trying, love doesn't end in a dramatic moment. It just fades into quiet disappointment. 8. She realizes life is short and wants more. As people get older, their perspective on life shifts. They lose friends, attend more funerals, and become painfully aware of how precious time really is. And for many women, this moment sparks a deep reflection on their marriage. They start asking themselves, am I truly happy? Do I feel loved? Is this how I want to spend the rest of my life? If the answers don't bring them peace, something inside them changes. They stop wanting to fight, to argue, to beg for attention. Instead, they turn inward, quietly focusing on their own happiness. And if their partner doesn't notice, or worse, doesn't care, they begin to pull away, first emotionally, then sometimes physically. Because being in a relationship isn't just about existing together. It's about feeling deeply loved, valued, and truly seen. In most marriages, love doesn't end in some dramatic explosion. It fades, little by little, in quiet, unnoticed moments, when words go unheard, when one person feels alone, even when they're not. Women don't pull away because they've stopped loving. They pull away because they feel invisible, unappreciated, and disconnected. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. Love is a choice. And just like it can fade, it can also be revived. If you're watching this and you have a partner, ask yourself, when was the last time I truly listened to them? When was the last time I made them feel valued? Not just as a spouse, but as a person. Is there still time to rebuild what's been lost? Marriage isn't a finish line. It's a lifelong journey of choosing each other, over and over again. It's about showing love, even as time changes you both. And remember, love doesn't fade with age. It fades when we stop nurturing it. If you want to keep your relationship alive, start today. Choose love, choose understanding, and most importantly, choose each other. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care of yourself and your relationships.